ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। Hari Om. So last class we were on the last day of the war and Karna has just fallen. And you can imagine the sorrow of Duryodhana, how much he should have felt, because Karna was a dear friend of Duryodhana. Karna was ever loyal to him. So now, who will command the army now? Karna is gone. It's no question of stopping the war at this stage. Who all were left? Not many people. Kripacharya was there. Ashwatthama was also there. Then they said, now Shalya was there. He was driving Karna's chariot. So they decided to have Shalya to take command of the battle from then on. And of course, as we know, his tenure lasted only for half a day. This was the last day already said. So he also met with his death. Duschasana was killed. And as Bhima vowed, I'll break your thigh and drink the blood. He did that. And how he did that is another another story. We don't need to get into that. Then Duryodhana went into hiding. But you cannot say the whole thing is over until Duryodhana is finished. So where is he? He was totally tired, exhausted, grief-stricken. And they found him in a lake. Yudhishthira, as per his nature, called out, "Hey Duryodhana, come out. We are here 5 brothers. You choose anyone to fight. Any one of the 5 brothers you can choose. And if you defeat that person, you won the war. You don't have to win over all of us. You choose anyone. If you win, the whole kingdom is yours." Now, Bhagwan was obviously annoyed. Huh? Duryodhana is strong, a great warrior in his own right. And if he chooses to fight you, Yudhishthira, you are finished. Why are you gambling again? Huh? I don't know why or how. A divine intervention, we have to say. Duryodhana comes out and chose Bhima. All the people, he chose the strongest. And they decided on the weapon for this battle is going to be Gadha, mace. Both of them were strong in that weapon. Both Duryodhana as well as Bhima, they had the same teacher. And the rule in the use of that weapon was that you cannot hit below the waist. This was in boxing. So when the preparation for the war was going on, someone told Duryodhana, you must make your body like steel. How to do that? How to do that? I said, your mother Gandhari is such a sati, Prativrata, Prativrata Sri. If she can look at your body completely, it will become strong like steel. You have her look at your bare body. In front of your mother, what is the problem? So he persuaded his mother also that she should look at him. As he was going to meet her, I don't know from where Bhagwan got wind of this and came. Are Duryodhana, where are you going like this? I'm going to see my mother so that my body will be strong as steel. That may be true, but don't you have some kind of shame or modesty? See, your mother only, that's all right, but you're a grown man. In any case, you will fight with a mace, and the rule is you do not hit below the waist. So wrap yourself with a towel or something. Let your mother see the rest of your body, and you'll have a great upper body strength. Have some common sense and decency. Duryodhana said, that's a good idea. So he covered himself and then went. His mother saw him, and every part of the body that she saw was strengthened. But since his thighs were covered, they did not get that extra strength. Bhagavan said, my job is done. What all Bhagavan had to do for the Pandavas. Then Duryodhana said, I will fight with Bhima. Bhima had said, I'll break your thigh and drink the blood. Then the Gada Yuddha started, went on for a long time. Bhima was getting a little tired. Duryodhana was a fighter. He was strong also. Good in that weapon. So Bhima was getting a little exhausted. So he turned around, looked at Bhagwan, and Bhagwan banged on his thighs to indicate that he should go for the thighs of Duryodhana because that was his weak spot. Bhima hesitated for some time. Because as I told you, the rules of the game, you should not hit that person below the waist. So he hesitated. Bhagwan gave him a stern look. So Bhima took one swipe at Duryodhana's thighs and broke it. He just fell. Did not have any strength to stand. He looked at Sri Krishna. It's not Bhima who killed me. It's you. So that was the end of Duryodhana. Then came Balarama. He was so mad at Bhima. He felt taking the Gada and fighting Bhima. Anyway, he didn't do anything like that. A great problem was solved. Now, Ashwatthama was still there and he was burning with anger. He said, I have to take revenge. They have wronged Duryodhana. So he went up to the Pandavas and said, the war is not over. I'm still here. Your army is not finished. Duryodhana said, I appoint you the commander-in-chief. You go fight. And Ashwatthama did the most horrible thing. Actually, he went to fight the Pandavas. That's true. But Bhagwan had taken them away. And Draupadi's 5 sons were sleeping in their tents. It was night time and Ashwatthama thought that they were the Pandavas and shot and killed them. Later on only he learned that they were not the Pandavas but their sons. He felt bad about it. What to do? That's what happened. When Duryodhana heard about it, he also condemned Ashwatthama. Draupadi came to know what happened. She was furious. She told Arjuna, you cannot leave this unpunished. Arjuna said, I will get that Ashwatthama. And he did find him. Brought him in front of Draupadi. And Ashwatthama was remorseful. That was a mistake. Honest mistake. He didn't mean to kill Draupadi's sons. He was there to fight the Pandavas only. So he said, I made this blunder. I will take any punishment you give me. Suddenly, Draupadi's heart melted. As a mother, I know the sorrow to lose my children. Now, you are your mother's only son. Your father is also not there anymore. So let us think of the mother. He is also the son, your guru, Brahmana Putra. Arjuna had taken a vow that he will kill Ashwatthama. But he's a Brahmana, should not be killed. But he's also a terrorist who must be killed. What a conundrum. The solution they came up with is to shave off his head, and the gem that was on his head was pulled out, rendering him Nistejaha, without Tejas. He was then released. That was a great insult. As bad as if he was killed or died, he died. Dushta tried to kill the fetus in Uttara's womb, Abhimanyu's son. Bhagwan saved him. And that Abhimanyu's son was Raja Parikshit. Anyway, that episode ended with him just going away. Now, I'll tell you one story. When all this was going on, Yudhishthira was performing the Shraddha, offering oblations for all the relatives who were dead. He had to do it for so many, because those who died on the Kaurava side were his relatives only, were his brothers. And as he was doing that, he heard a voice. And it was Kunti. And she said, you have to give Jalanjali for one more person. Who's that? Karna. Why? Then she revealed the truth. The truth pained Yudhishthira. He said, oh mother, why did you not reveal this fact before? Had I known everything to Karna, he was the eldest. He was the eldest. So Yudhishthira is said to have cursed all women. You will never be able to keep a secret. He said that generally women cannot keep a secret. I don't know whether it is true or not. Very unlikely. It's not always true. We do not know whether it came after or that belief was there before Yudhishthira's curse. It doesn't matter. When he learned that Karna was his brother, he performed Shraddha for him also. Next, we come to the coronation of Yudhishthira. The war is over, the Pandavas won. The joy that should have been there on such an occasion was not there. When you look at Dhritarashtra and when you look at Gandhari, they had lost all their sons. When you look at it, anybody's heart would melt. Yudhishthira was most reverential to them. And they also looked at him as their own son only. But sorrow is sorrow. Yudhishthira felt miserable. because he felt guilty. He thought he was the cause of all this destruction. So he opened up his heart to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And he said, I have done a great adharma. Bhagavan said, let us find out. Let us solve this problem. Let's find out what is dharma and what is adharma. The guiding light of dharma is there, and that is Bhishma Pitamaha. So let's go to Bhishma Pitamaha. Someone had gone to Bhagavan early one morning and saw him meditating. Huh? We all meditate on Bhagavan. And who is he meditating upon? So they asked him, upon whom do you meditate? Bhagavan replied, I meditate on Bhishma Pitamaha. So that's how great Bhishma Pitamaha was. So they went to see him. And he was lying on the bed of arrows. So he asked Yudhishthira, what is your question? And then he heard about all dharmas, Raja Dharma, Praja Dharma, Stri Dharma, this and that dharma. Then Shrutva Dharman Asheshena, having listened to all dharmas, he asked, Ko Dharma Sarva Dharmana, which is the dharma of all dharmas? The answer is given in the famous Vishnu Sahasranam. So we go down to Bhishma Pitamaha. Two most gems of Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita and Vishnu Sahasranama. Bhishma Pitamaha prayed, may my mind be absorbed in Bhagavan. And Sri Krishna blessed him. And he attained Parama Moksha. What a life. Life of Bhishma. Born as the eighth Vasu. Whole life of sacrifice. Nothing belonged to him. And he had to serve all others. And he just did that so admirably. Then Bhagavan Sri Krishna had to return to Dwaraka. The Pandavas went to take leave of Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. I had maximum anger for Bhima. Yudhishthira did namaskara and Dhritarashtra blessed him. Next came Bhima. Bhima, come, I want to hug you, Dhritarashtra said. He actually wanted to squeeze him and choke him. Dhritarashtra very strong. He may be blind, but he had brutal physical. If only Bhima went for that hug, his ribs would have been broken. Bhagavan made a steel statue of Bhima and put it in front of Dhritarashtra, who grabbed that statue thinking it was Bhima, hugged it and squeezed it so hard that the steel statue crumbled to pieces. So much was his strength and his anger. Whew. Bhima heaved a sigh of relief. Gandhari naturally was mad, angry. She told Sri Krishna, you are responsible for the destruction of the Kaurava clan. You could have stopped all this, but you allowed it to happen. I curse you. Your Yadava clan will also fight with each other and will be destroyed. Sri Krishna said, "Oh mother, I accept this. Actually, you have made my job easier. These Yadavas are so strong now and have no rivals at the moment. And someone becomes so strong, they become arrogant and they will destroy themselves." That's exactly what happened to the Yadavas. And Bhagwan just disappeared. Arjuna had come to Dwaraka to see Bhagwan off. There he realized all his strength and prowess was really Bhagwan's. He had Bhagwan with him all the time. And he was mighty and strong. After Bhagwan's departure, he was no different from the others, and in fact weaker. He felt very badly that he did not appreciate Bhagwan enough when he had with him, did not give him the respect and reverence he deserved. Then everyone started to depart one by one. And when Bhagwan departed, Yudhishthira said, in the meanwhile, Vidurji came and took Dhritarashtra and Gandhari away from there. He taught them Brahma Vidya and they attained moksha. And Yudhishthira also said, our job is done here. So Parikshit was made the king. And he said, let us go to the Himalayas. Yudhishthira, as an ascetic, detached from everything, he left. When he left, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, and Draupadi, all of them renounced everything. Kunti had already left the world. And the Pandavas and Draupadi, they went to the Himalayas. So Yudhishthira, along with Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, and Draupadi, left Hastinapura, the kingdom, the palace, the royal comforts, and they went. So this is the episode of Swarga Arohanam, ascending to heaven, to reach heaven bodily. It's a difficult path. Difficult path. Nobody does that. You drop the body on this earth, punya, you go to the heaven. You get a heavenly body. You don't go with this physical body. But they were trying to do that. Anyway, Arjuna had done it once. Remember that story when he went to the heaven. Anyway, I don't know how, why a dog was following them. Dog was following them. Yudhishthira said, all right, you also come along. And as they were going, first Draupadi fell down. Bhima was all upset. Oh, she fell down. Yudhishthira did not even look back. Kept going. She fell down. But why? Some fault must have been there. She cannot reach heaven. She had a special love for Arjuna. That's not the same for everybody. Maybe that we don't. Then Sahadeva fell down. Why did he fall? He was a Buddhiman. He's a little proud about that. It's nice to be intelligent, not nice to be arrogant about it. The next casualty was Nakula. He was handsome, and that also went with a little pride. Arjuna, because the greatest archer, warrior, man of valor, etc. Bhima, about his strength. All their pride came before that fall. Everyone who had come along, Yudhishthira had gone. Only the dog remained. Then a plane came from the heavens. The pilot said, "Hey, Yudhishthira, come on, hop in, board on this plane, board this plane. You are the one who deserves to go to heaven bodily." He was about to enter the plane, and then he stopped and asked, "What about the dog? Huh? You want to bring your dog along?" They said, "No, a dog is not allowed." Yudhishthira said, "If my dog is not allowed, I'm not coming." He's been following me, and I don't know why or when he started to come with me, but I can't desert him now. And then they found it was not any dog, but actually God. It was Yamaraj who had taken the form of a dog and had come to test Yudhishthira. Wanted to find out, will he renounce him for the sake of heaven? Of course, Yudhishthira passed the test with flying colors. Okay, hop along with the dog. Then he was told, before you get into heaven, you have to pass through hell. You're not going to stay there. The passage goes through hell first. You also, you were not perfect. One or two things you did. Narova, Kunjarova, you said. And that was only partial truth. Partial truth is lie only. Therefore, for that, you should have Naraka Darshana. You just have to see. You won't stay, but you'll have to see. So he went to Naraka. And what a strange thing there. Terrible sorrow of those jivas in there. He was seeing all that. And what was strange there was that he heard the cries of his brothers. The other 4 Pandavas were there in Naraka. What is this? What is this? Have some patience. Come, enough of this tour of hell. I'll take you to heaven. And to add insult to injury, what a shock in heaven. Duryodhana was sitting there on a throne, enjoying heavenly comforts. Yudhishthira said, "What the hell? What is this? We always followed dharma, and for that dharma palanam, we suffered so much. Now I see my brothers are in hell and Duryodhana is in heaven. Ain't fair. I don't want to be in this heaven. Take me back where my brothers are." The guardians of heaven said, "What are you talking?" And he told them, "This Duryodhana is here and my brothers are not here. I don't want to be here." So he was taken back to hell. It was such a wretched place. I don't care. My brothers are here. I'll be here on. Then the guardian angels who were accompanying him, they revealed their identity. They were actually all celestial beings. And Yamraj, Dharmaraj, appeared and said, "This is all only an illusion. The brothers are in heaven only." Again, we showed you all this just to find out if you will discard your brothers. Huh? My brothers are in hell. I don't have to join them. You could have said that, but you did not. You were true to your name as Dharmaputra. You gave up actually the heavenly Sukham for the sake of your brothers. Very loyal to them. Now you go to heaven and enjoy with your brothers. Now don't ask me about Duryodhana. Whether he was in heaven or he went to hell, don't ask me. I don't. Generally, it is said that those who die on the battlefield go to heaven. I don't know if he did or not, or whether he stayed there for a short period of time or he was there permanently. I don't know. Anyway, this is the story of the Pandavas and the Kauravas. This is called the epic of Mahabharata. As I mentioned to you, it's a vast canvas on which the beautiful story is painted. It's not only the story of the Pandavas and the Kauravas, it's a story of mankind. So what's happening all over the world even now? Everything that's going on already painted on the Mahabharata canvas. One, it is a story, it's also a history. It's the story of a dynasty and it's also the story of humanity. Then what we find is, even if you're interested in psychology, all these wonderful characters are there. They teach us so much about their mind. And we can recognize them in our own mind. If you understand the whole story, the Duryodhana in you, the Arjuna in you, the Karna in you, the Dhritarashtra in you, and so on. There is scope for a lot of symbolism, of course. There are some people who are timid and are afraid accepting that the war and destruction took place. They say, no, no, no. It was not war or anything. It's only the conflict in our mind. Everything they take it as symbolism. Even though the story can be looked at symbolically, does not mean that everything was just symbolic. No, no, no. It is our struggle inside, all right. Pandavas represent all the virtues, Kauravas represent the vices. Vices are always more in number and virtues are fewer in number. If you have the support of the Lord, virtues only will become victorious. Such symbolism is there. Nobody denies that. But to deny the history is not right. Please tell me, if all these conflicts are going on one's mind, don't you think it will manifest at some time or the other? You think it will just remain there inside? We find if a person hates somebody, it does not happen that the hatred remains only in the mind. It manifests outside so many ways. One day you find you want to give him one slap in the face. When you harbor such kind of emotion for a long time, it just does not stay there. Only some rare spiritual aspirants, they can see the struggle of their mind and can really fight it out and overcome all. Very rare. Otherwise, it is not possible to only remain, keep it all inside. We have to know them. In all this, we have not even studied so many other things, economics, politics, so many things are taught there in the Mahabharata. One particular line that comes in Mahabharata quite often is so much true even now. That is, Artasya Purusho Dasaha, Arto Daso Na Kasyachit. Man, Purushaha Dasaha, a word, Artasya, of money. Man is slave to money and wealth. But Arto Daso Na Kasyachit. But money is not a slave to anyone at any time. Don't you see the truth even now? This world that we are in, we see that. We see that. Another statement that comes very often quoted from Mahabharata, Yato dharma tato jaya. Where there is dharma, there victory is. Yato dharma tato jaya. Even though superficially, one level, you may find that adharma, untruth, is winning. You may see from time to time that happening. That gain will not be abiding success. It will be fleeting one day. It will look like somebody is prosperous because of all that, a dharmic way of living. Only when dharma is, there will be everlasting victory. The reason is, where dharma is, there Bhagavan is. And Bhagavan supports dharma only. In that dharma palanam, some people may have some weakness or some challenges. Possible. As we have seen in the case of Yudhishthira. Weakness was there. Those people who support, who protect dharma, you will see their greatness is that they will accept all that. And they will seek the Lord's help. And because of that weakness or etc., if they have to suffer, they are ready to suffer for their misgivings. They don't waver from the path of dharma. As I said, we have seen that abundantly in the case of Yudhishthira. Whereas the adharmic people don't even think that they are doing any adharma. Even if they know it is adharma, they do not give it up. But stick to their adharmic ways because they cannot help it. Again, we have seen that in the case of Duryodhana. He himself fessed up to it. I had mentioned that thing in the last class. By the same token, even if someone is following the path of dharma, it does not mean that person is perfect. It does not have any imperfection. Greatness of that person is to recognize I do have some flaws, and if some sorrow comes, just go through Experience that. You also find virtues are good, but those virtues must be dedicated to the Lord alone. Only when they are divinized, then only they become potent. That's what we find. Pandavas were devoted to Sri Krishna. There are some philosophies that do not accept any God or any dedication to God. They believe in humanism, human values. That cannot sustain a person's virtues for long. One day you will get angry with human beings. I did so much for you. You ungrateful scum. I'll show you what. It's all possible. You will be partial to human but indiscriminate to other creatures. So surrendering even virtues to Bhagavan is very important. That's what is indicated. Given you some general points. As we study Bhagavad Gita, we will see more about it. So that concludes the story part. As I said, it's very difficult to summarize the Mahabharata story in few classes. I've just shared with you some highlights, what I have studied, what I remember. There may be so many other things. And all of you, have watched, Mahabharata episodes at length. Okay. And this inspires you to watch that again, so be it. Enjoy. Okay. So we conclude the Mahabharata storytelling with this. So starting next week, we will just have the Gita classes. Okay. Which we will start, at 7:30 today also. And then every Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Indian time, 10 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast in the US. ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ